was not just like a bad date, right? It was a textbook case of preemptive strike triggered by an anxious attachment system. I want to talk about why she ran before she could be rejected and why we all do that, okay? If you're new here, I'm Whitney Marie. Welcome back to my channel. This is the home of soft glam and hard truths, where we do talk about everything fashion, luxury, and skincare, but we also get very, very deep so that we can do the inner work and live the life that we will all deserve to live. So as a student, a current student therapist, I don't just watch reality TV, namely Love is Blind for this particular video, for the drama. I watch it for the data, okay? In therapy, we talk a lot about overfunctioning as a way to manage anxiety. And for Tyler, the first thing that I noticed was her immediate jump to, I will move for my man. Even though my career is at the top of the top, I'm doing the most incredible work that I've ever done. I think she's the one that said that she made VP before she turned 30. I'm pretty sure that comes with a really beautiful and hefty salary and compensation package. So for her to automatically say, I would move, I'll figure it out. I think it was a way to create what I call a safety contract. So by offering what one could consider the ultimate sacrifice, right? Upheaving your entire life, your career, your home, your likely family and or friends. Up front, you subconsciously try to buy safety. I would do this for you. So I would imagine that you would also do anything for me too. You see what I'm saying? If she does the most, he can't leave, right? He won't leave. He knows how much I want to be here and he knows that I'll do anything for him. So that is the contract. I'm giving up a big part of my life. You will too, right? But what Kevan said was, I don't want my wife or my girlfriend or my fiance to just to move. I think she's done a lot to create the life for herself. Why would she do that? And I think for him, I don't know if it created a red flag. He seems like a very empathetic person. He doesn't really want to hurt anybody's feelings, which is also, could fall into conflict avoidant kind of situation. But he does seem very attuned to people's emotions and feelings. Now, the other thing that I'll notice is the first two episodes specifically, Kevan and Tyler, they're the two, there's 5 black girls and 2 black men. And Kevan and Tyler really seem to connect really off rip, which typically happens in the pods, right? But Tyler would go back to the girls' quarters and playfully say things like, are you talking to my man? Because is Kevan your man? Because he's my man. That's my man. And trying to put some sort of stake and claim over it. Mind you, they had only been in the pods for a couple of days, right? So it's been 2, 3, 4, 5 days, okay? And she's doing and saying these things that kind of give way or kind of signal to the other women that me and him have a really strong connection, so don't even think about it. And when I first started hearing her talk like that, at first I thought it was a little playful. But then the more it went on, I was like, oh, this is kind of intentional, okay? So all in all, she thought that they were going to ultimately end up being together, but Kevan started to have a stronger connection, or a strong connection also with another woman named Kia. Now, Kia seems very self-aware, very confident, and also very secure, which I really appreciate about her. I like her a lot. I think it might have been day 5 or day 6 that Kia and Kevan, he starts to realize, oh, I actually do kind of like this girl too. So during a conversation with Tyler, he says to Tyler, I was talking to somebody that I went on my very first date with, and I really enjoyed our most recent conversation, and it really took me by surprise. Now, he was practicing what is called relational transparency, right? He wasn't saying he liked somebody else more. He was doing what the pods are intended to do, right? The people are supposed to communicate that there are multiple connections that I have, and I'm being honest with you. He's simply sharing his internal process, okay? That he's going through a process, she's going through, but he's sharing his process. But to someone with a history of abandonment, and I don't know Tyler, I'm just saying that there are certain reactions that give way to me that she likely has some abandonment issues. So to someone with a history of abandonment, that ambiguity will equal danger. That, not being so assured that he wants to be with her is now rejection. While he thought he was being honest, Tyler's nervous system, and you could tell just by watching the whole thing play out, interpreted it as like a slow motion breakup. Okay. And she couldn't hold space for his complexity because, in her brain, she was telling herself, he's already leaving you. He wants to be with the other girl. It's over. Now, the moment that happened, the moment that things got difficult and she could not regulate herself, Tyler exited the pod physically and emotionally. I mean, emotionally, she began to cry and kind of make it about herself and say, you can be with her, the woman that you're choosing. Mind you, Kevan never said he was choosing anybody else, okay? She is creating a narrative in her head based on his communication to her about being honest about his other feelings. She creates the story in her mind that he wants to be with somebody else and she has to leave. Okay. This is what is called protest behavior. All right. And so in attachment theory, what we're taught is that when we feel that a bond is being threatened, we'll either do one of two things. We'll cling, we'll become anxious, right? Or we're going to lash out and become like avoidant. So what she did was storm. She left. She avoided. She stormed out, and she regained the power that she felt she was losing. So she turned herself into a person that might have been rejected to the person doing the rejecting, and that made her feel powerful. Okay. It's a defense mechanism, and its intention is to preserve the ego, but what it really does is destroy the connection. I think we've all been a little bit guilty of that, trying to leave before getting left. I know I have personally done that before, and it's never worked out well. And I think with a lot of therapy and a lot of self-awareness and introspection, I've been able to notice those types of behaviors with not only within myself, but within others, and try to help them identify that and see where that kind of comes from. And then you can work through, healthier connection with people. But all I'll say, I like Tyler a lot. She seems like a really sweet girl. I think that there are some things that she'll probably need to work on throughout this process, or even in her personal life once the show is done. Obviously, the show has been done for some time. And this is not to bash her. I want to be very clear. I'm a Black woman. I do not do that unless there's some like egregious, Candace Owens type stuff. But this is not to bash her. This is more of an observation, and I'm using it as a teaching experience, an opportunity for other women out there that may see themselves in Tyler. So a couple things you want to remember. One, you giving up something thinking that it's going to make you a better catch. Oh, I'm going to move from one place to the next because my husband is there. Instead of saying, hey, I've built a whole life financially. She don't even know how much that man makes. She can make 2 times more than he makes. And she's saying she's going to uproot her life to go to him. Right? There was not even a conversation about that. So that's one. Then two, the anxious attachment so quickly that didn't fully seem reciprocal. I think that they do like one another. I'm not saying that. I just am saying that she seemed much further along, much quicker than he did, just based on the conversations that he would have with the guys, etc. And then third, the behavior of leaving before you get left. I want you to remember, if you are doing that, I want you to take a moment. Try to recognize within yourself that your nervous system is dysregulated currently and pinpoint where you think that may be coming from. Take a minute to breathe, do what you got to do, and reset. Because we cannot build a relationship on guarantees. We can't build a relationship on certainty that other people cannot give. And we certainly can't build a relationship based on anxieties that cause people to walk around with dysregulated nervous systems. Okay. I'm so excited to see the rest of the season. Please come back for more. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, but this was so much fun, and I'm happy to do a little bit more coming forward. All right, I'm Whitney Marie. See you later, guys. Mwah.